Hi, welcome to Mr. Gohane's first online lesson. But before we dive into the lesson, there are some things I want to talk about as far as my expectations for you while you watch these videos. First off is some things you are going to need. You're going to need the handout that I gave you in class. You're also going to need a pencil to write. You are going to need a computer or something that you're able to watch these videos on. And last, you're either going to need speakers or headsets so you can listen to what I have to say. What I like about these videos, and for you to remember, is you can pause them at any time. If I'm moving too fast or you have to step away for a moment, pause it and you can come back. Also, you can rewind. If I spoke too fast or you didn't quite catch what I said, rewind, listen again. And last, if you get all the way through and you still have questions, go back and rewatch it. These videos are going to be up there posted for you to use. Again, remember, pause, rewind, and watch again. Those are 3 things that I expect you to do during these videos. Today, though, I want to start by talking about integers and do a little bit of graphing. First off, integers. We're exposed to integers all the time. Here is a giant set of integers. And looking around, here is another set of integers right there. So first off, what are they? We got to get some definitions down. So here's the vocabulary of what we need to know for this lesson. What I expect you to do is pause the video, jot down all of the vocabulary words, and then play the video, and we'll talk about it. So right now, pause the video, copy down the vocabulary words. Okay, welcome back. I hope at this point you have all the vocabulary words written down, so let's talk about it a little bit more. Integers, what are they? Well, they're any whole, positive, negative numbers and 0. Positive and negative numbers. The key is that they have to be whole positive and negative numbers. Whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, and so on. Notice what I'm not including are fractions and decimals. Those are not whole numbers. Whole numbers are just numbers without fractions and without decimals. So negative numbers. Negative numbers are just that. They're less than 0. Taking a look at our number line here, negative numbers typically go this way. And notice this arrow means that it continues to go on and on and on and on for infinity. Positive numbers are greater than 0. Here's my 0. Greater than. They go that way. Those are positive numbers. So let's think about it. Real world link. What is one place that you would find both positive and negative integers? What I want you to do is pause the video, think about it, and then jot down your response. Okay. Real world link. A place you'd find positive and negative integers. Well, one thing that pops into my mind is a thermometer. Temperature measured in degrees. Typically in the summertime, we're dealing with all positive numbers. 80 degrees is a positive 80. Right now, though, we're in the middle of winter, and looking at the temperature forecast, we're going to be in the negatives tonight. A -4 is what they're calling for. That's 4 less than 0. That's extremely cold. Another place that I think of is football. Now, running backs who are running with the football, they want to gain positive yards, meaning they want to go further past 0. A rusher who rushes for 100 yards in a game means that he ran for a positive 100. However, some running backs aren't that great, and they get hit behind the line of scrimmage. That's what's called negative yardage. If you get the ball and you run backwards and get tackled, that is a negative yardage situation. So let's talk about it a little bit more. On your paper, it says, what if you were sacked for a 10-yard loss? What integer would that be? And here's a quarterback who dropped back to pass, and he's getting sacked. Also, what does 0 mean in this situation? What I want you to do is take your best guess at it. Pause the video, write down your response, and then come back and we'll talk about it. Okay, welcome back. That quarterback. If you were sacked for a 10-yard loss, The integer would be negative 10. Why? Because it was for a loss. You went backwards. Negative 10. You're sacked for a 10-yard loss. So what does 0 mean? 0 just represents no loss or no gain. You didn't go forward. You didn't go backwards. You just sort of stayed right where you were. That would what 0 would represent. Here's another example. What if it was raining and we received 4 inches above our normal rainfall? What integer would that be? And also, what does 0 mean in that situation? Well, 4 inches above normal rainfall. It will be a positive 4. Why? Because if this is our normal rainfall and our rain gauge was 4 inches above, it would be a positive 4. What does 0 mean? 0 just represents the normal amount of rain. Positive 4. Now, of course, if we received 4 inches less, then that would be a negative 4. But 0 is just our normal rain. Now, let's talk about graphing a little bit. The first question I had for you to do is graph -5 and 1 on the number line. So your first step has got to be to draw out a number line. And what that is just your straight line. And these little markers are integer marks. And I put little arrows at the end to show that it goes on for infinity in both directions. So, first step on your note sheet, what I want you to do is copy a number grid, or I'm sorry, a blank number line like this, and put your little integer marks there as well. Okay, next. We have to graph -5 and 1 on a number line. Now notice, I don't have, sorry, pardon me while I pull up my tool to write with. Now, I didn't label any of the integers. It's going to be our job to have to do this. So, first thing I want to do is start with a 0. I'm going to put my 0 right about here. Okay. Then we have to graph -5 and 1 on the number line. So, let's start with -5. Of course, their negative numbers are going to be this way. And our positive numbers are going to be this way. So let's graph -5. I count back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my -5 would be here. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you graph, what you have to do is put a nice dark little circle there so I can see. -5 is now graphed. It's on the number line. It's on there by representing it with this dot. Please make sure that when you graph your number line, you mark it with that dot right on the -5 line. Now, we also have to graph 1. So 0, +1. Now notice, there's no positive sign there. In math, if there's not a negative sign, if it's just the integer by itself, it's taken that it is positive. So our 1 will go here, and again, mark it with that dot right on the 1 line. Perfect. What we've just done is we've graphed -5 and 1 on the number line. Let's do another one. Clear that off. Okay. X. No. Okay. One more graph. This time we have to graph 2, 3, and -8 on the number line. So, pause the video, draw out your number line, make your integer slashes, and then go ahead and graph 2, 3, and -8. Okay, fantastic. At this point, you should have them all graphed out. And what I want to do is show you how I do it. First off, -8. The key is we can put our 0 anywhere in the number line. So, because I have to go to -8, I'm going to put my 0 right about here. And then I could put my -8. 1, 2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. My -8 would go there. And I'm going to darken that in and double check my work. 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. Perfect. I also have to graph 2 and 3. +1, +2, +3. And how I'm going to mark them on the number line is with the dark circles right on the line. So I can look and see, there's my 0, +1, +2 is marked, +3 is graphed, and -8 is graphed. Perfect. Now, this is going to conclude our graphing and our integer discussion. This paper that you've just completed is going to be your ticket to come meet with me at group in class. So, when your paper's complete and I call people down to group, this is your ticket to group. Okay? Thank you very much. Excellent job with this first lesson. Again, if you didn't catch something, rewind, go back. That's okay. And see you next time.